Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Gaming Solo. My name is Robert Solo Gamer Friend, and this is a Gaming Solo playthrough of CloudAge. If you haven't had the opportunity, go to the description below, click on the link for setup, set the game up right along with me, come back and join me in the playthrough. When it's all done and said, let me know how your score racked up against mine. It's a good chance you'll outscore me because I don't score very well and beat your own score games. But without any further delay, let's get into the game. As a reminder from the setup, we are playing Scenario 1 of CloudAge, so we only have 3 of the player boards out. And we're not using the upgrades on the right side of your player board. CloudAge is divided into 3 phases for each round. You have your production phase, movement phase, and action phase, which is tracked down here. There are multiple actions within each phase, and we'll go through those actions as the game progresses. The first thing you want to do before you take your first action is to see if you've already passed a book section. We have not passed the books, but along your player board, where you have your tokens, your cubes, and you have books in between each cubes, whenever you remove a cube and the next time you play, and that book action is next, you take the book action, which is on here in the scenario card. So right now we don't have any book actions available to us. Then we go into production action. So here's our production. It's optional, you do not have to take it if you want to, because it does cost you energy to take these actions. So right now I can spend 1 energy and get 2 water. What I like to do is I want that water, so I'm going to spend that energy. I'm going to grab 2 water tokens. Because of all the cards available, this card seems to be best for me. It's going to cost me 13 water in 1 of these cards, but let's remove 2 spaces on this production track. And what happens, you can purchase anything with energy on the production track as long as you're either lined up with it or if it's behind you. So if I was on the 3rd market production track, it would cost me 2 energy to get 3 water, or I can spend 1 energy to get 1 water, and so forth. It all depends on what I want to do. But right now I'm at the very beginning production track, so 2 energy gave me, or 1 energy gave me 2 water. The next step during the production phase is you draw 2 of your project cards, which are these right here. You draw 2, flip them over, and you have numbers on a project card. The only thing you're worried about on these project cards are the numbers, and you have to play them in sequence from lowest to highest. So what you have to do is you have to discard the lowest card, put it right here, and you receive that amount of energy for that card. So if it's number 1, I get number 2. The next card will be your movement points card. Right now I have 2 movement points plus whatever I have on the board. I currently have 2 for the card, and I have the option to spend 1 more movement point for the solar panel on the Airships wing, or I can skip that part and get 2 energy. But before I make that decision, when I move, I have to end my move on one of these cities. And the cities are covered up by clouds, but trust me, there's cities underneath there. And you have to end your moves on that. If on the board you see symbols that have like 2 or 3 of the similar movement, where you have the half circle arrows, to enter that space it costs that many movements. So if I want to move into this space here and collect cards, then it would cost me 2 movements just to enter into it. Doesn't cost only more movements to move out, just to move into it. So right now I have a movement act value of 2, possibly 3, depends on where I want to go. But that ends the production phase. Next course is the movement phase now. So I got to decide where I want to go. I can go to any one of these 3 clouds for 2 movement points or even 1. And I can start anywhere I want on this part here because it's all connected. But I think we'll go down the middle, gives me a little more flexibility. So I do have 2 movement points. I will expend them and I will stop right here. Now I'm covered up right now, but the red explosion symbol with the number is combat value. And of course the resource underneath is what you earn if you enter combat. If you choose to enter combat and you win combat. Right now to enter combat would cost me, well, I have to tie the combat value. And who you're entering combat with is called the CLOUD Militia. Don't worry about it, they're not as bad as they sound. So right now I have 1 combat value to defeat. If I choose to initiate combat, I want to initiate combat, but I don't have any combat values on my airship. All my combat value will be up here. So I can spend 1 energy to flip over a card. And if that card's number is 1 or greater, then I win. If it's 0, I lose. Then I have to spend 2 more energy for each card I want to use. Right now, I did my 2 movements. I forgot to collect my 2 energy from this movement I didn't take. So I did 2 movement for my card. And before I went to the movement phase, I should have picked up my 2 energy because I did not use that movement. So it's either 1 movement or 2 energy. So I'm up to 4 energy. So I can burn 1 energy to flip over 1 card. Then I can burn 2 more energy to flip over another card if I need to. I do have a 0 in there, so there's a chance that I can lose this combat. I have to burn another energy. So I'll spend 1 energy, flip over a card, at least be a 1. It is a 1, so I win that combat phase. And when I win that combat phase, I collect 2 water. Oops, we're on the wrong track. Collect my 2 water, put it right here, and I take one of my cubes off of my mat, because you only have so many rounds, 7 rounds to play this game in, and I put that right on this, anywhere on the cloud area. Just shows that I visited that cloud. That means I can't initiate combat in that cloud again and get more resources. That combat cannot happen. I've defeated the CLOUD Militia, they're no longer there. And that ends the second phase, which is movement phase. So first phase is production. Look for booklets. If there's no books exposed, then you collect off your production mat. If you want to, you don't have to. Costs you energy. And then you draw your 2 navigation cards. Collect from the lowest value card that much energy. The highest value card is your movement card. And then you go into the movement phase where we moved, and we initiated combat, and we flip cards, and then we put our token on the board, and we only have 6 more movements left. Now the solo portion of the solo play comes into play. You take the first cube on the solo board and you slide it from top to bottom. You get to take the action of that symbol on there. And in the rulebook on page 14, you will see what those symbols are. So the symbol for the action I'm taking is, I may collect 2 resources from either Sector 1 or Sector 2. When it's talking about collecting resources from Sector 1, Sector 2, it's talking about this board here. Sector 1, Sector 2, Sector 3. That means I can collect any resource from one of these sectors. So I'm going to go to Sector 1, and how you decide what you're going to collect is, like I said, these cards are kind of obscured, so what you want to look at is you want to look for the symbols that it appears to have the most of. So if you're looking at the orange square ones, they represent energy. The ones that look like a bunch of little cluster of buildings, almost like a little city or village, they represent production cards. The ones that look like a scrap yard, which I think is at the bottom of the card there, they represent metal. And of course the water represents water. And when you look at a card, you really don't know what you're getting into, so you're going to select the one you think is either going to be the most of or what you want. Collect resources, then either one, because the solo board, then what you want to do is you want to try to get the highest resource. Normally you don't want to do that any other time, but that's part of the solo automas. You get to take the highest resource that you get penalized for selecting that. So I need scrap metal, and I don't see much of it on the 3 value card. On the 4 value card I see a little bit. So I'm going to try to get scrap metal here. Hopefully get at least 2 of them. Then you take the card and you reveal it. You look at the symbols and the numeric value. So right now for scrap metal I get to collect 1 piece of metal. So let me collect that right now. And then if you see symbols next to it, symbols such as the wrench or the card symbol, and you collected that resource where that symbol is, that means if it's the card symbol, which is a navigation update, that means you get to remove a card from your discard pile, which is great because you get rid of those low value cards. If you get the wrench, that means you immediately receive 1 resource of your choice, or you can do an upgrade if you have the resource to do the upgrade. But because the solo told me to draw that card, I don't get anything. I don't even get to keep this card. This card automatically gets discarded and it comes out of play because it was a solo directing me to draw that card. And that ends the solos portion of that action. Now I decide if I want to go to one of these cards or if I want to take this action here. If I go here, it means I can do 2 upgrade project card actions or 2 build actions. Now I get to decide where I want to go on the city board. If I go here, that means I can either do 2 upgrade airship actions or play 2 project cards or do 1 and 1. And playing project cards, of course, is purchasing them and putting them within play. Or if I go to one of these locations, here, 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 then I get the resource from the area I went under unless I selected the highest valued resource on there. But if I go here and I select the highest value resource in solo mode, I do not get to collect that resource. So I got to be careful about collecting resources. So I got to look at the cards and once again decide what might be the highest value and try to avoid that so I can still collect some resources. And I don't have enough to purchase this card yet. I need 13 water, so I need to go someplace with water. I see a lot of water here and here, but not a lot here, so I'm going to go here for water and see if I can collect some water. So what I do then is, of course, pull that card out, take a look at the card. Water was the lowest value. I prefer it to be the second highest, but 1's better than none. So I'm up to 7 out of my 13 water. And then I look at the card once again, see if I see the wrench or the card symbol on water. There are not, so I just continue on play. This card now goes into my discard pile and adds to my movement combat value. And for scenario 1, that ends your action. If you're playing scenario 2 or the campaign, then you would take the plant new growth tile. And I'll let you figure that out as we go, because right now we're still playing scenario 1. I don't throw too much at you. Besides, you're smart, you'll figure it out. And that ends round 1. The other rounds will go much quicker now, and I'll explain things that need to be explained if I come across it. Alright, starting round 2, the production phase. We haven't passed a book yet, so that doesn't come into play. We can do production. Like I said, I can spend 1 energy for 2 water, which I am going to do that, because I need more water. If I'm going to get the care package card, that's 2 more water. That gives me 9 water. Yep, 9 water. So I'm going to trade 5 of these water in for the 5 marker. So I'm sitting at 9 water right now. Then we do navigation draw. Draw 2 cards. I want to get to here, but I want to pass through here, which is going to take me 1, 2, 3, 4 moves to get there because that's a 2 move zone. So I need to be able to have 4 moves total. So let's see what I have. Flip over navigation card. 1 and 0. I'm not going anywhere. So the 0, I lose that. Don't get any resources. And my navigation value is 1, and I have a bonus of 1 if I use my solar panels on the airship. So I'll have to use it for a total of 2. And unfortunately, in order, I'll have to go here because I have to end all my moves on a city. So I'll have to move here, then here for 2, or here for 1. And then do combat phase of that. I know the 0 and the 1 is gone. That means I have a 2 and a 3 left. So I will pass combat phase. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to expend. So that ends production. We go right into movement phase now. I get 1 movement point. I'm going to move here. I'm going to earn 2 more of my energy. Brings me up to 4 on the energy track. And because I know there's a 2 and a 3 in there, I'm going to initiate combat phase. I only need 1 to get 2 more water. Flip it over, and it is the 2. Awesome. That means I still have the 3 in there. And I collect 2 more water, so I'll take a 5 token. That'll give me, and put these 3 in here. That gives me 11 water if I can pick them up. That means I'm short 2 more water in order to have the ability to purchase that card. Now I put a cube out, showing that I have already been to that area and I can't do combat there again. And now we go into action phase. So solo drops down here, and the action the solo gives me is either I may build 1 upgrade or score 2 victory points. I think I'm going to build an upgrade, and I'm going to spend 2 metal to get a combat point. And now I have 1 combat point to add to my combat card value. And now I have to decide which sector I'm going to go to. I need water. I don't want to go here. There's a lot of water. There's a lot of water there. Like I said, if you go to the one with the most value, then you lose out on that resource. So I'm going to go here because I think water is going to be either 2 or 1, but definitely not 3. So I got that. I reveal the card. I did pull water with a value of 1, but I have a little card symbol with an X on it next to the water symbol. That means I can remove from the discard pile only any card of my choice. I'm going to remove that 0 card, and it is out of the game for the rest of the game, and you get rid of it. And then of course this card goes into my discard pile now. We'll collect my 1 water. I'm short 1 water to purchase this card still, and that ends round 2. Alright, let's begin round 3. Start the production phase. We passed the book symbol, so therefore we take the scenario 1 card, and it states, after the next book action, give each player 1 mission card. Afterwards, flip the scenario card. So the scenario card means that every time we get a book action, we can either get a project card or we get to collect 1 energy. And then we grab our mission cards, shuffle them up, they say mission on it. And then you draw 1 card. I'm going to randomly pull 1 out, and that's your mission for the remainder of the game. And what I drew is either I have a total movement value of 3, 4, or 5. You get 2, 5, or 7 points. And I have to visit the Devil's Fork, Alton, and Nefera. If I visit one of those locations, I get 2 points at the end of the game. If I visit both those locations, I get 5 points at the end of the game. Devil's Fork is here. The next one is Alton, which is here. And the other one is Nefera, which is here. So I need to get to Devil's Fork and then to here. Combat value 7, though. I may have to risk all the way here to avoid the huge combat value. But to get the 2 or 5 points. And then, so I'll place the mission card right here. I'm going to move the solo board over just a bit. Should still be on screen. I'll place the mission card right here. Because eventually I'm going to start putting my cards here once I draw them. Going to production phase. I get to spend 1 energy for 2 water, which gives me a total of 14 water now. Now I draw 2 navigation cards. There's one right here. I got to shuffle this deck up. Alright, it should be good and shuffled. Got 2 navigation cards, flip them over. A 3 and a 1. The 1 gives me 1 energy. And of course the 3 is my movement value, which is what I need. So if I move through here, I can draw 2 more project cards, which might be a good idea because I can spin them. Then I move into here. I would need a combat value of 3 to survive. So that's 1, 2, 3. Devil's Fork is right there. I could shoot up next round to Devil's Fork because I want to build more energy. I think that's what I'll do. So I'm going to move 1, 2, draw 2 more project cards and add them. Put them right here, kind of hanging off the edge. Now I drew the Inventor and the EMP Blaster. The EMP Blaster gives me an extra combat value, and the Inventor project cards will cost 1 water less. And then I will go ahead and end my move here. That's my 3rd move. I'm going to get 2 more energy because I didn't use that action. And now I'm going to spend 1 energy to do combat with the Cloud Militia. They have a value 3. I automatically have a 1, so I need to at least draw 2. Drew a 1. I got to spend 2 more energy to initiate combat, to continue with combat again. And it's a 2. I probably didn't explain this. I know I didn't explain it to us. So when you draw your cards out of the city area here, that little symbol in the top corner right here, that for scenario 1 allows you to draw water. I failed to do that, so I do get 3 water for that. I want to add that to my pool here. And I gotta remember that though. Normally in a different scenario you would lay out tiles, but for scenario 1 that equals water. And I gotta remember to draw that next time. So I apologize for missing that. Hopefully I haven't messed you up. I have defeated the Cloud Militia though. So I get 4 water. So I'll take another 5, drop 1 back in there. I have 21 water. And then of course I take the marker and place it on the Cloud City right there. And I have a total of 4 more turns left after this to get to my objectives, which again are to have a total of 3, 4, or 5 movement values and to visit those towns. Now we go into action phase. Solo's turn. I get to get a resource from Sector 2. So I want iron. I don't see a whole lot of iron symbol on there, so I'm going to go for it. Try to draw iron, see what happens. Like I said, because it is a card the solo board is giving me, solo action giving me, I don't get to add it to my card pile. And the iron is 2, awesome. And it has no symbols next to it, so I get to collect 2 iron, and that card gets discarded. That's great because I need to keep upgrading my weapons and my movement abilities now. And I think this time on my turn I'm going to take a build action, which means I can upgrade and purchase a card because I get 2 actions for going there. And like I said, when you're there you can build 2 build actions, 2 production cards, or 1 of each. So I'm going to first do an upgrade. I'm going to spend 2 iron and upgrade my movement. The next one will cost me 3. And as you upgrade, you have to upgrade from top to bottom and left to right. So, and then I'm going to spend my 13 water. I get 2 water back. And I get to burn a project card. I think I'm going to get rid of the pilot's insignia. Burn that one. And I'll just put this about on the deck, so there's no way we're going to go through this entire deck. I'll put this right here and right here. And now this card goes underneath the green section because the top is green. Now I immediately get 10 victory points. So we'll put that on the 10 mark. And I get to upgrade my production twice. So now I'm here, which is awesome because it gives me more water. And I get a victory point since I'm on the past that line. And that ends round 3. Alright, let's begin round 4. But one thing I did skip whenever I collect this project card is I crossed this line that allows you to collect 2 more project cards. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. Flip over 2. And I have the grappler and the EMP blaster. That's the second EMP blaster, so I'll just stack them like that. And the grappler, I'll just put it right here for now. Now we'll begin round 4. Production phase. I haven't crossed another book yet, so I can either spend 2 energy to collect 3 water and 1 victory point, or I can spend 1 energy to collect 3 water. I think we'll just spend the 1 energy and collect the 3 water. Now we'll flip over movement cards. And a 2 and a 1. So the 1 gives me 1 energy, the 2 gives me 2 movement points. I have a total of 4 movement points. I need to get here, but if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, I still get there, plus I collect 2 more iron. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, collect 2 more iron. Unfortunately, I don't get any energy out of that because I used the energy for my solar panels on my airship. And I take a cube, place it here, and I'm going to initiate combat to get more water. Right now my combat rating is a 1. I'm going to spend 1 energy to draw a card. And that's a 3. So I've defeated the CLOUD Militia and I get 3 more water. My water's up to 14 and my iron is up to 3. That finishes production phase and movement phase. So the action phase, move the solo down, and now I either get to do 1 to 2 upgrades or collect 1 to 2 project cards. I can do 2 of each, 2 here or 2 here, or split it up. So I'm looking at project cards. I need to move. It's going to cost 13 water. I have 14 and 1 card. I can get another movement point for this, but I also need weaponry. So I think I'm going to purchase the cooling system. It's going to cost me 13 water. It goes underneath the blue section here. So I'll spend my 13 water. I also have to spend a card. I think I'm going to get rid of the grappler. And now my movement is up to 2. And at the end of the game I collect 8 victory points. I get my second action. So I think I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my combat for 3. So there goes my 3 iron. So now I have 2 combat points. And that ends the solo portion. And I need a little bit of everything now. So I think I'm going to go... That's a lot of water on 3 of those, so I'm definitely not going to collect water. I think I'm going to try to collect metal. So I'm going to go here in sector 2 for metal. It gives me, well, I'm going to go sector 3 for metal. I don't see much metal there. I only see water. So let me see what sector 3 does. It has 3 combat points or movement points. And metal is 1, plus I get to burn a card. Awesome. So we get 1 metal. And I go through the discard deck to burn a card. I'm going to burn a 1. And that will end my turn right there. And that's the end of round 4. Starting round 5, we pass a book, so I get a choice off the scenario card, either a project card or an energy. I think I'm going to grab another project card, see what we have. And this one is the drive unit, which gives me 2 energy or an extra move if I don't use the move. So that's great. That'll go towards my movement points if I purchase it. 5 water and 1 project card is what it's going to cost to get that. I think we're going to do production. We will spend 1 energy to get 3 water. Now I just need 1 more water and I can get that card. Now we go and draw cards for movement. There's one. I gotta shuffle this deck up. And the 2 cards are 2 and a 2. So get 2 energy from the 2, brings me up to 4. And I get 2 movement points for the other one. Going into the movement phase, I do need to get here. I only got 3 rounds count on this one to either get here or go all the way to Nefaria. And it's pretty far away, so I'm going to focus on, it's going to cost me a lot of combat, but I'll focus on getting there. So if I move, like I said, I have a movement of 2, plus 1 is 3, plus this one 4, plus that one is 5. If I see 1, 2, 3, I can stop there and do combat. Actually, I might as well do 4 because I can still save that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I can do combat there, collect 3 more project cards, but the big thing is I get another iron, and I need 6 iron or 4 iron, 6 for movement and 4 for another combat. Or I can just focus on getting water. I'm not focused on getting water right now. Hopefully collect iron later. So I'm going to move here for 1, 2, 3, the cards 2, airship 1, and then I will get 2 energy, and I will fight the militia. Actually, I want to go here. It's going to cost me 4 combat, but I fight the militia, but I get 4 water. So let's see, I have 2 combat points, so I just need 2 more, so I'll spend 1 energy, flip over a card. It's a 1, I'm going to spend 2 more energy, flip over a card again, and it's a 2 for, gives me more what I need, so I collect 4 more water. Now let's get into action phase. Automa slides down. That means I get to select resources in either Sector 1 or Sector 3. I need metal, so I'm going to try Sector 1 metal. Actually, not much metal shown in any of them. I'll try Sector 3. Now I'm going to go Sector 1 metal because I want that 3 value that card. Or I won't get it. You know what, it doesn't matter, I don't get it. So let me go Sector 2, or Sector 3 metal. And I get 1 metal. There's no other symbols next to it, so at least I got 2. Now it's my turn. I still want more metal, but I can't get the most, so I'm going to try to go to Sector 1 3 value card. Only 1 metal, but I get to burn another low value card. So I do have 3 metal, which is great. I can work on getting more combat power. And I get to burn another card from here. I'll get rid of this 1 value card. And that ends that round. Oh yeah, need to put a token out, so there we go. Cube went out. Now the round is over. Alright, round 6. We didn't pass any books the last round. So I'm going to spend 1 energy, collect 3 more water. Draw my 2 cards for movement and resource collecting. The navigation cards give me a 1 and a 3. The 1 will give me 1 energy. And the 3 is my combat movement. And you know what I forgot to do? 1, 2. Forgot to collect my 1 water again from when I drew the card from the sector. Gotta remember that. So I would recommend, if you have a problem I have, just put a water on each card. So that way you know, or in each area, like I'm doing right now, just so you remember to grab that. Because it's kind of hard to remember sometimes if you're so focused on the card itself that you overlook it. So my airship gets to move 3. I want to get to Alton. So that's 3, 4, 5. I got a total of 6 movements. So for 1, 2, 3, 4. But the combat power is 7 in there. I got enough cards in here, but I don't have enough energy. Let me see here. So if I move 3, 1, 2, 3. So that takes care of the card. I get this one, and this one gives me 2 more. I only need 1. So then I get to collect 2 energy for not spending the solar panels on the wings. And combat power 7. I'm going to go for it. It gives me 5 victory points. The main thing is I just need to visit the site to gain the victory points here. But I get an additional 5, so it helps. So I spent 1 energy. Draw a combat card. A 3 plus 2 is 5. I need 2 more points. Spend 2 energy. So I need a 2. And I should have counted my cards. And it's a 3. Awesome. Whew, got lucky. If it was a 1, I would have been screwed. So I still have like 1 left in there. So I met that objective, and I get to collect 5 more victory points. So it puts me up to 15. And I've met the bottom mission. I still need to collect 2 more movements to max out that. I have 3. 1, 2, 3. I need 5 to max out. 4 will take me up 1 more level, but I want to get to 5. So in its movement phase, combat phase, now we're going to go into the action phase. So now the automa goes down. I may either score 2 victory points or play a project card. Of course I'm playing a project card. And that's 5 water. I'm going to spend that 5 water. I'll get rid of these 5 water tokens. Clear up my area some. And get rid of 1 project card. I'm going to get rid of this project card. And I place this here. Now I have another movement, but also I can exchange that for energy. I do get 2 energy because I didn't use that movement. Gotta remember to get my energy back. And now it's my turn. I think I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to upgrade or get project cards. 2 of them. I can do 2 upgrades, 2 project cards, or a combo of both, as long as it's 2. If I want to get combat points, I can either spend 3 water project card and get 3 more victory points, or this will give me 4 more. Or if I get this, I can immediately build an upgrade on my airship for 1 metal less. I think I'll do that. I don't have enough metal though. I need 4 metal because I need the movement. I can do combat, but I don't want to do any more combat. I want movement. And of course this one, anytime I purchase a project card, it's 1 water less. But it costs 10, I can't afford that right now. And that's immediately build an airship upgrade for 1 metal less per mechanic. I only have one mechanic, so it's like I said, I want to try to get 1 more movement. So I'm just going to get a combat power, place it here, spending 3 water and 1 more card, and I will get rid of the mechanic card. I got 2 cards left. I still have 1 more action left. Yeah, I'll go for it. I'm going to get this other combat power for another 5 and burn a card. So I'm out of water, and I don't have any more project cards to purchase at the time, so I'm kind of stuck right there. And those are my 2 actions. And that ends round 6. Alright, we're on our 7th and final round. I'm going to try to collect as many victory points as I can, because for scenario 1, to pass scenario 1, you need 60 victory points. I don't think I'm even close to that, but we'll find out. First thing to do is we passed a book, so I can either draw a project card or gain an energy. I did collect 2 energy twice last round, so I fixed it, brought it back down. Didn't affect gameplay any because it was towards the end of my turn for some reason, but I fixed that back down to 2 energy or 1 energy on the board. So back to what I was saying, I'm going to put a project card out here because I need I need a movement, but I need water now. So that's good. I can burn 1 energy for 3 water. I'm going to have to do that. For 1 energy for 3 water, I'm down to 0 energy. I still need more water. Got to figure out how to get that, probably through combat, so I can try to purchase another card. I'm going to reset this here. And I need to shuffle these cards. Alright. I still need 1 more project card though, because I can't purchase that. It doesn't have a card to burn. Oh, it's getting kind of tough. So where can I go to get a project card? There are some on the board, but it was here. No. I might be stuck. If I can earn some metal, which I can right there, then I can purchase 1 more movement. That's only 2. I need 6. Oh, looks like I may fall short of maxing out both the objectives. Oh well, let's go for it. So I'll go ahead and draw my navigation cards. A 3 and a 1. Earn 1 energy from that. I get to move a total of 3 movement spaces. So let's see here. My combat is 2. I can only draw 1 card if I move there to get 5 more victory points. So that's not going to work. So I have a 3. This is a different. These are 2 different cities where I'm at. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total. 2 of them give me energy. So you know what? I'm going to go for that. So 1, 2, 3. Earn 2 victory points for passing through there. So I did my 3. And I get 2, 4 energy. So it brings me to 5. I'm initiating combat with them CLOUD Militia guys. And I want to spend 1 energy. I have 2 combat power. Gives me 5 combat power. Spend 2 more energy. And gives me a total of 7. I beat those guys, I get 5 more victory points. Brings me to 22. Cards go away. So that ends the production phase, the movement phase. The automa slides down. And I get to get a resource in Sector 3. And then I can purchase a project card to do an upgrade. So I need metal. So it doesn't matter I'm going to, well, it does matter. The more metal I get, the better. Because like I said, it doesn't affect me. I won't get the card itself, but because I'm getting it through the solo, the maximum number doesn't matter. So what this appears to have the most metal exposed. So does that. Oh, that's a whole lot of metal. I'm going to go here for metal, see what it says. And I get 1 for metal. So there went that one. Had a lot of metal showing, but unfortunately all the metal that was showing was on the card. I get 1 metal though. Card gets burnt. There is a wrench on the metal, which means I get to do an upgrade. Or I get a resource of my choice. So I'm going to get a resource. I'm going to grab another metal, which is awesome because now I get my turn. I get to play a project card, so I'm going to ignore the sectors. Get to buy a project card or do an upgrade. I'm going to do an upgrade of the Airships movement for 6 metal, which I have 6, and that gives me 5 movements total and more victory points. And I get to do another action, but I really don't have anything to do, so that pretty much ends my turn. That ends round 7, and now we'll go into scoring. Alright, let's go ahead and begin our victory point count. So first we looked at completed missions. We completed both our missions at the highest level. So for the number of movements at 3, 4, 5, I had a 5 for 7 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, so I get 7 points. So that puts me up to 29. And then I visited Devil's Fork and Alton for another 5 points on the other mission. So it brings me up to 34. We'll slide this down a bit, get these cards out of the way. The next victory point criteria is markers on cities. We do not get that because we did not use the legacy tiles in this scenario. So that gets skipped. Then we get points for the highest ship upgrade. So my highest upgrade for weaponry is the second one for 3 victory points. Brings me up to 37. And then I get 4 victory points for the highest movement upgrade, which gives me to 41. Now we do upgrades on cards. So this was not a card I had played. So this is worth 4 points, plus 3 is 7, plus 1 is 8, plus 8 is 16. So 16 more points, so gives me from 41 to 57. Use the 50-point marker. And unfortunately, that is all the points. I needed 1 more card for 3 more points, which would have been that one, to get the minimum score of 60 to consider this scenario a success. So I missed it by pretty much one of these upgrades here or another card. But other than that, fun game. I enjoy it. Like I said, it's kind of a mix of steampunky, dystopian, so it kind of up my alley, but we'll get more to this in my final thoughts. CloudAge is a fun game. I enjoy it. It's right up the alley of Andrew Pfister. Like I said, he comes up with different, interesting games to play. I think out of all his games, this is kind of like on the lighter side of all the games he has out there versus a little more heavier ones. But I like it. I enjoy it. It's a quick play. Once you understand the rules, you don't have to go back and check things out. You can probably knock out this game in about good 30 minutes at most. Not counting setup, maybe with setup about 40 minutes. So it's a fun game. I like the fact that it has scenarios, or you can do an entire campaign. And the best thing about the campaign, it's like multiple cards. Like you don't, like there's numerous cards in there, like 1A through 1F as an example, but you're not going to play all those cards in campaign. Whatever action you take, it may tell you draw 1F. So you're not going to see A, B, C, or D, or so forth. And you continue on until you complete the campaign. You go back and start it over again, and a completely different scenario. I didn't do those campaigns because it's a minor, not much, but a minor spoiler. So I'll leave that for you guys. Maybe later on, I'll play the entire campaign. This game's been out for a couple of years, so it's definitely something that would spoil too much. But until then, we'll see what you guys want to do. Maybe next season, when this season's over with, I might do a couple of games that are just campaigns and see how you guys like that. But we'll figure it out. But for the most part, CloudAge, great game. I enjoy it. Really easy to learn. Like I said, Andrew Pfister's famous for putting all those examples in his rule books, and he did not fail again. So I like that. I said, if you weren't sure about something and you read the rules, look for the example. The example is going to break it down for you. So I really enjoy it. It's a fun game, and I see it hitting my table a few more times a year. Once again, thank you for joining me at Gaming Solo. It's truly an honor and privilege that you're spending your time with me. And I hope that since I can't give that time back to you, that what you are viewing is well worth your time. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comments below. If there's any way that I can improve this channel, also let me know in the comments below. If it's within my means, I'll do that. If you don't want your comments on the public domain, then email me at gamingsolo101@gmail.com, and I will definitely take that email once I'm finished with it, delete it so it does not get put into the public domain through my system. And when you guys get the opportunity to go check out the Solo Board Gamers Facebook page, check them out. And if you want to join the group and contribute, or if anything, just follow the threads and see what they got going on. There's a lot of interesting solo games out there that I didn't even know existed until I came along with that group. So other than that, thank you again for joining Gaming Solo. So other than that, have a great night, and I'll see you on the next playthrough.